everyone, and thank you for joining us on this episode of 180 TYC Unscripted. And we are so glad to have somebody here with us. It's a wife of a friend, I think so. I just like her husband's name. So I will always call her by her husband's name. So, like always and as always, I am Jumoke and I have here
Olafunke Olamide.
and here, let me introduce her. Here is Mrs. Busui. Yes, she's the wife of Busui. And I am sure you remember Busui. Busui was the one that came one time like that when it was almost his wedding time. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, no, Busui dished out a lot of info.
Of how we met.
They actually met in church and he brought her back to church. You know, that's the way it is. So now the wife is here, so I can tell you. Just let her open her mouth and start talking. So today, we are going into this topic that is crucial. Yeah, it is crucial. It is crucial. Only again reason why I am saying it is crucial because a lot of us are actually getting wrong from that angle in our relationship, in short, in our Christian race. But we are narrowing it down to relationship. So the question is can contentment, I want to put it just the way it is, be a major factor when choosing a life partner? Or will you give room to compromise? Like, let me reframe.
Yeah, I think that'll be better.
Better, like you have not had it before. So you hold it over. I'm sorry, this is there. So now, to put it in another context, just for the sake of those that are hearing the people's time. Know them. Contentment. Should it be one of the priority? Like one thing that you should always place at the top of your list? Or you can give compromise. Contentment in the sense that this is my kind of guy. Tall, dark, handsome, rich. If you know God, usually it's almost the third or something, but now believers are now rearranging the list. God must know God to be first. And for adventure, that guy comes in that spec, but probably the wealthy part is not there. Can you compromise? Or probably the stature part is not there. Can you give room for compromise or contentment and to just play its part? So I am going to start with she is married. Can you flash her in? So we have the one that are in the process, like they are in a relationship. They'll tell us how they got there, what they compromised, if at all they did compromise, before they agreed to be in a relationship. Same with the married one. And well, when they start talking, you know who is in a relationship and who is married and who is not. Anyway, so I'm going to start with Lafunke.
Ma?
So now,
Quite jubilating.
in your relationship, before you got there, were there some things you had in mind to? Were there expectations regarding the prospective partner that you are currently seeing now? And did it check it?
Okay, so when like the person I'm seeing now, when we started off as friends. So it was not like the main story that okay, I want this person to be my thing. We just kicked it off as friendship and everything. So during the like conversations and everything, I'm like, oh wow, this person is actually okay. Yeah, like it's like kicking like my
Picking
yeah, but it was not as if I had like a specific list. This one, that one, that. I used to have like a list. I used to have like,
I didn't as well.
oh God,
actually.
like, the list is like, it's not looking like it's not visible. It's not like confining me that if I don't see this kind of person, that I'm going to say no to other person. You know that sometimes that the people that, according to what they say, the people that are good for us, we don't really like them because they don't take what we really want for the person that we want. So I just had to like sideline that list and just do some more and just like. And when this thing happened, I wasn't like I want to be in a relationship. I want to be. I was like we're just friends. We're just talking. We're just chilling. Then yeah, it happened to be like okay, wow, this person is like
It's
okay,
actually nice.
yeah.
Oh, you see.
And I've not even think about compromising and everything because that's been easy, smooth, easy peasy. Yeah.
How long has this relationship been?
I think 10
Oh my
months.
God.
10 years.
Oh my God. 10 or 9 months. I'm
Wow.
Then get the that
My
time. God
aunt.
begin. That's a long time. Anyway, so that's I'm happy for you. And
Thank you.
easy, Lord is helping us. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to move on to Mrs. Busui before now you know who's in the middle. Yes. Anyway, so I'm going to move on to Mrs. Busui. Mrs. Busui.
Okay.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
And I'm glad I know your husband.
Thank you.
So I know some things
Thank
we're going to
you.
talk about here is going to be true, and I can tell you this person will fire black. Have you heard her voice when she said,
Wow.
listen,
Wow.
you need to listen.
Wow. Wow.
So now, I can remember what the seed said about you and about the relationship. So now I want to hear from your own side. How did contentment play during your relationship?
Okay, to start with, to be very honest, I don't remember asking God or having a list of, I want a tall guy, I want a fair guy, or I want this, I want that, I just kept on praying to God that I want a man after your heart and someone that will love me all the time. And I think that was, no, I'm not thinking, that's actually what happened. I didn't pray. I didn't really go into the prayers of God. Please, it must be tall. It must be very, very rich and all. I didn't do all those things. I can't remember doing it. I never did that before. But even past relationship, I mean, I didn't have a lot, but they're just the last one was actually far from God, so I knew that was not God's plan for me. So contentment, you can always compromise. Yes, you can always compromise. And from the look of things, it's so like rampant right now that when you say you want a tall, dark-skinned person, sexy, then you get the opposite. You get the opposite. Like you just get what's totally different, and you can like, if God has spoken to you that this is what I want for you, this is the man after my heart, and this maybe you heard loud and clear, but checking your list, the man after God's heart for you, the man after God's heart for you does not even match up to what you've written. But I think if you can get 50% of what you have actually written, maybe out of 100%, you get 50%.
So you make do with the rest, right?
Yes, you should go.
Thank you so much for that insight. So now coming down to that, because now it seems you and Latini were trained by the same parents. You guys don't have. Okay, let me not say this. All I know is our Lord's prayer is a template as to how to pray, which gives more or less like start from here, go to here, go to here. So to me, I see it as God telling us that our prayer should be a well thought out plan. Like you want to pray to God, you should be able to, mark out your
What you
prayer
really want.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Mm-hmm.
So God is not a God of what do they call this thing? Like just bring them everything together, like put things and what they use for that thing, like just all together God is a God of multiple precepts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying that you do not have that kind of intention or that kind of thought as to this is what I want for my husband. No, I'm coming.
Okay.
You get? Is it actually not really defining the fact that we have to be specific in what we want to God? Because you praying and say, God, I want breakthrough, God, I want breakthrough. I think it's going to boil down to what exactly do you want breakthrough on?
Okay, the thing is not that I didn't have prayers I pray concerning my man or the kind of person that I really want to spend the rest of my life with. But it's why I didn't dwell so much on those prayers. Like I didn't dwell on it at all. Of course, there are times I just take a day, I'm praying about my marriage, the kind of man I want, and maybe once a month. It's not something I do every day.
So the thing
in
is,
every
you
prayers.
just pray about your marriage.
Not
You know that you're praying about I want it to be trouble. You're praying for my husband is
no, not really about, of course, the marriage aspect, my future aspect and all, but about the God, please, you must give me a Toma that is very dark. I don't know. I didn't really pray those prayer, and if I ever did, it wasn't intense. It was not at all.
I can speak from the angle of Philippians 4:16 that says, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known unto God." Yeah, request be made known unto God could actually be very, very dicey. I could claim to say my request is, God, give me a husband, and He knows how to do it because it's God. You know who is good for me.
Yeah.
Do you get? You know what is good for me. Do you get? Meanwhile, I could still go to God with my request and say, God, please, because you know the background, my background, where I am coming from. We are not really very handsome and pretty in our lineage. I want a hands-on person, so that by the time we do the XYZ chromosome cross matching, I don't know, you know, right? That is they taught us in biology. We'll be giving back to children like children.
Everybody wants to carry our children.
Yeah, everybody want to carry our children. All those ones, like, it's in the basket that took two for you know, that kind of thing. I'm just citing an example. I'm not saying everybody is beautiful. He created us all beautifully in His image. I'm just using that as an example. So, I might want to be explicit on my own request. Do you get? So I'm just thinking, I'm not saying that you guys are doing what is bad or what is not. I'm saying that there are still some of us that still have that kind of, we break it down for God. Not that God is not going to understand it on a higher level. I'm just saying I just break it down. So now that is good anyways. Now all I'm you and I. Because God is so patient for us. Compromising in relationship. I am sure, okay, I'm going to use myself now. Prior to this time, I had a relationship, and I'm sure why most of them or it didn't work is probably I was unable to compromise based on one thing. Do you get? So you lose a relationship because you were unable to probably take something, which means you didn't compromise with. Do you get? So, to what level, Olamide, can you compromise on the person you are aspiring to become your husband? To what level can you take your compromise?
Okay.
Or what are the things you can compromise?
Exactly. I think that should be the question,
Yeah.
because I feel that we have, for me, let me just do it for myself, right? I have the negotiables and I have the non-negotiables. So that means I have the things I would compromise on at all. So me having to get married to a godly man, I cannot compromise that at all. So you because even the Bible has said that we should not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. So that unbeliever doesn't mean Muslims. There are some people that claim to be Christian and they are not believers. Do you understand? So that one I cannot compromise with it. But there are some times, I can compromise with maybe finances.
Sure.
So it's just like, it's not every day that things will be rosy here. So there are some times that you might not have as much as you used to, but God's grace is going to really have. But there are some times that you will not have as much as you used to, you understand? And you know this person's capacity. You know that God has given you a man of capacity, right? But at that moment, he doesn't have as much as he used to. you can compromise that.
Yes, a baby girl.
You can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Compromising.
Yeah,
Let's say that is being
It's compromise.
Yes, you can always compromise.
You know what?
The heights, you can
Why
always
the
compromise.
word I'm taking out of that place was the capacity.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody a while ago when she was like, "No, the guy didn't get money." I was like, "See, it's not about he doesn't have money. Does he have the capacity to get money to acquire money? I don't mind. I don't mind
He's just living
from Shomolu to Ojota with you. I'll go fast.
Are you
Do you get?
working?
But I know
Are you
that
working?
we are on our way to do you get?
Greatness.
Not that you are lounging in laziness.
Please,
Yes.
not
And you
I
think
feel, not I plan to. There are some men that will tell you, I plan. What was your 5 years?
No.
I plan to.
What are those plans? Let's break it.
They
Let's
must
dissect
be
everything.
smart
be
plans.
a working. It might not be that you are there yet, but be working towards.
Working progress.
Be a working
Let people say you are working. Let people know you are working to getting
You don't
greatness,
just
to reaching
I know of
greatness.
some
Just
friends
sit
that
and relax.
the guy was not didn't have a job. He graduated after leaving school for over 10 to 14 years. Let me use the word 10 years though. You know, he didn't really own a significant job. He couldn't get one. And this other lady was like, this is him and that. And she was the only one working. The husband was actually living with her older sister in her own husband's house. And you guys are planning to get married. And she was like, because of age, she just want to go ahead. And mind you, at that time, she was just earning 35,000 naira. You know, and it was a long story. But now they are actually in mess. In mess because when they later struggled to get a job for the guy, because of the age, he couldn't really do some things. He feels he can't be taking orders from some people that are lower than him. You know, in the end, he lost that job within the space of 6 months because of his ego and they're not back to
So
school.
I also feel the other things that you can compromise on. You see these people talk about love languages. So I might be a kind of person that loves you doing an activity for me, and you might be a person that likes probably words of affirmation or something. So we can also
Yes,
and that was why I said when you get 50% of what you want,
you can compromise because we're not the same.
Yeah, the thing is, once you are not perfect, it therefore means the person coming to you
is not perfect as well.
So there are some things that you remove and replace. There are some things that you. There's this saying that say you take a step to the left, I take a step to the right. We meet at the middle. Do you get? And it's gonna work out for us. So it is not that we are not contented. It is not that we can compromise, but there are some things that we cannot compromise
on.
One of it is you have to be a believer, a child of God. We have to share the same faith.
You must fear God. Not only have faith, but you must fear God. You must be as a man. I believe the man should be a priest, a husband.
I don't want to carry you along. Carry off.
Exactly. You should be a priest, a husband, and a father already. So I'm not talking about him having a child. He must have those characteristics. And I must be a priest, a mother, and a wife. Because the Bible says that he will find a wife. So I must be a wife already. So those things I can't compromise.
Alright. Where I would try to draw a line there is when you say it must be a priest, it must be a man, it must be now, we should not forget that our faith level are different.
So I'm not talking about people that will call fire down, that kind of priest. Do you understand? You and God have a relationship. That's what I mean.
That's of course, you must have a relationship. People will not be looking up to a brother that is kaboshi.
Our faith should be on the same level.
It might not
go together.
It might not be the same. There is tendency that the wife faith or whatever might be higher than the other, and you bring him up to it. But the thing is, you should be.
I believe. Maybe I meant say I believe.
So I feel that belief is
must be the same.
Yes. Jesus will be the doctrine of
not that I would believe in praying tithes and you'll be saying, I'm not sure I want to, stuff like that.
Experience God in different dimensions. So I'm bringing my own dimension, the dimension I know that God has shown to me. So you're bringing your own. So we are combining the two. We are meeting up at the midpoint.
So what matters most is the fact that we understand that I am not there yet.
Yes.
Do you get? And I have somebody that is probably there, and we can work together.
Yeah.
And we should always be mindful of the fact that the person that we are to walk the lifetime journey together is willing to learn. Do you
That's
get?
another thing.
You have not really gotten to that point.
We all have that.
Probably I am at the point that my faith can move mountain instantly, but you aren't there. But are you willing to learn?
No.
Do you get? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to bend over backwards for me?
Yes.
Based on the things that it's not compromising on God's terms and God's way,
Yes.
but at least we are learning. So one of the things we are not compromising is the fact that you have to be a child of God, have a relationship with God, ready to learn. Because you can't, because you're a man and because God says you are the head of the family and you are like a head. Nobody can talk to me. I can kabush, I can this, I can do that. See, the woman too can be a firebrand. The woman too can support you. The woman too can even guide you and give you instincts and instructions and guidance. So,
I want to ask a question. Can you compromise on love?
Love.
Yes, because I feel for a man, if he doesn't say it that he loves you or he is interested, I don't feel you should compromise on that.
One, I don't think that's true. Then how, if you cannot express love, then how do you expect me to receive?
So some people would
think
try
you
to
should compromise.
No,
It's not healthy.
Probably
You can't show it, you can't act it, you can't
love
say
is
it.
expressive.
No,
Do
you
you
don't
get? You
compromise
you
on
can
love.
express your love. You should
Nobody should ever do that.
express love. So I'm Jumoke will not compromise that.
Thank you.
In anything.
Nobody should.
No, some do. Some ladies blindly do.
It's going to change.
Yeah, it's gonna change. He actually loves me. Sometimes
Okay.
He loves me, but it doesn't show it. It doesn't
you know,
express
all
it.
those things.
It doesn't show it outside. When we get inside, it shows more.
Don't
compromise on love.
loved us and he expressed it by
Yeah.
us on the cross. There is no greater love than that. So you, as a child of God, and you love somebody, you should be able to express it. And love is not excluded in Christian race. Let it not be that because you have to have faith, you have to believe, you have to be miraculous.
Because you're a Christian,
and
you
ever
think you should not love.
Love is actually all
It's
of
even
these
part of
things.
the fruit of the spirit.
Do you get? Love is actually all of these things. So we aren't gonna compromise love. She didn't compromise love.
Nobody
That's why she's
should.
in a marriage. She didn't compromise
I'm
on
not
love.
going
That's why
to.
she's in a relationship. I ain't working. So I'm gonna.
I know.
We won't compromise.
I'm a journalist.
Please, guys.
I'm done.
Wait,
I'm
I'm
a
done.
journalist.
And I know that.
Journalist.
Yes. My list was exchanged over the course of
But right now, do you want 100% on your list? Right now.
if there is possibility I'll get 100%.
Yeah.
You know why I say there is 100% possibility I'll get 100% because over the time
You've been
the
changing.
Holy Spirit
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, you're and I have the list according to the guidelines of the Holy Spirit.
That's
So I'm gonna get it.
That's it.
That's
I
can't
tell you that I will be on your list.
Because when I get my list, that's my list. That was why I got it. Do not compromise.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is deep.
My preventive photo to
It's gonna make the list because it is the Spirit of God I give it. Hey, don't worry. We are coming next week with a set of guys. They are going to talk to us from here.
Their own path.
And we want to hear from them. See, guys, we know God resides within us, and the relationship we have with God directs our thinking, our thought. And that is why whether you have list or not, it knows what is good for you. Then the thought I have for you is of peace, love. It's going to give you an expected end. Imagine that kind of God. And what He has in stock for you, nobody has ever had it. He has never seen by anybody, and has never entered into the heart of anybody. And no father, a child will come to meet him and say, Papi, I want bread. They will give us food. So therefore, we know the Father with whom we commit our life unto, and it's not going to give us what would pain us or what is going to hurt us. So until we come your way next week, share, like, comment, we subscribe.
Subscribe, yeah.
We have to see you. Peace out.